Last time we left off with our car moving forward. We can smooth out the movement by adding a physics material to the ground. Create a material and set both friction settings to 0. Now add this to the ground. The movement of the car should be more smooth now. It's hard to tell, so let's see what we can do about increasing the speed. Rather than to alter our code each time we need to adjust something, we can add a variable to our code, so that we can adjust them inside Unity. In our script, add public float. Public because it can be accessed by everyone, and float, because we are using whole numbers. The name of the variable will be forward force, in camel case, with the default value of 2000. Now we can replace the z value with the variable forward force. Save and go back to Unity, and now there should be a forward force field in the script component. In order to add input keys to our game, we will use if statements. There are two parts of an if statement: the condition and the code. First we write the condition, then we write the code. When the left key is pressed, the following code will be executed. Curly bracket followed by airbay, which is rigid body. Add 500 force on the x-axis this time. Time, delta time, and finish with a semicolon. Don't forget to declare the input key. To recap: if bracket, input key, bracket, quotations and right. The whole if statement is saying, when the right key is pushed, add 500 rigid body force for the x-axis. Save and run now. When we press right, the car should steer to the right. In order to make our car steer left, we must add another if statement. After closed curly bracket, enter the same code. But this time, with the left key, and a negative force, because we are steering the other way. We are telling the computer. Check for constant update, if left key is pressed. If pressed, execute rigid body force, minus 500 delta time, on the x-axis. And end with semicolon. Now when we press left it should steer left. Play with the values, until it seems responsive. We can make the steering adjustable in Unity, the same way we did with forward force. Add a public float, and call it sideways force. Give it a default value, and add F to the end. This lets the computer know it's a float. Now the sideways force, and replace it in the x-axis value. You can now see sideways force, inside the inspector box. Press play to test it out. The left and right button should steer the car.